Kid influencers classed as child labor under new French law. Nothing is more important than protecting kids and their privacy, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki wrote in a blog post at the time. Liar, your bottom line is. This seems very reasonable. Good to see regulation adapt to a new paradigm. It's amazing the amount of parents that will whore out their children on YouTube. Some of the stuff is pretty sick too, with girls in bathing suits on. My son used to watch those toy programs that are popular, but after I saw what they were I immediately put it into it. Fuck those parents. I can see how this could be considered child labor. If anything, it makes no sense for children to influence other children. For what? To earn money they can't even legally manage? Makes me think of American women who force their daughters to do beauty pageants their entire childhood. Rip all those kids laboring in the social media mines for upvotes. Does this mean influencer is now an occupation? Good decision, IMHO. Somehow, France has always had the balls to do something other nations would spend 10 years debating on whether to do it or not. Good step, now push it into the European context. Don't stop at influencers. All these kids that have cameras shoved in their faces all day every day are child laborers as well. Labor sounds better than exploitation. I'm so glad about this. I've used real kids in this kind of advertising lots of times, and the content upload schedules these little guys have to follow is insane. This is what I think when I see Beyoncé, Kim Kardashian, or Kylie Jenner's kids on screen. They are no better than dance moms or other abusive parents by profiting off their kids. Good. Cause it is. Why did this remind me of Brittany Xavier and her poor daughter Jaden? It would be great if the US enacted this law and those YouTubers, Micah and James Stauffer, https://www.google.com/amp/s/www. BuzzFeed News. com/ampmel/Stephanie McNeil/Micah Stauffer Huxley announcement, who rehomed their adopted, autistic, Chinese son had to start paying him royalties or whatever. What about actors? You should not be able to exploit a minor for any sort of personal gain. Be it money or internet fame, till child influencers exist and people are influenced by children. Everything I hear about French politics and government is so positive lately, go them. We need this to happen in the US ASAP. And why are the adult called influencers to begin with? Back in my time we called them shill. Frankly, with the amount of propaganda over there, no kid under a certain age should be on YouTube, let alone be one of its star and have thousands, if not million of adult fans. I've always thought about why kid actors aren't considered child labor, like Jaden Smith for example, or any of the Disney productions, especially the series. Of course, we need kids for that, but is it okay? Or is it because it's fun work, that this is okay? Who says kid influencers aren't having just as much fun? Questions over questions, without me judging because I'm unable to. Wow, France did something good. I completely agree with this. Now do something with cuties. Good. Let's do that here. What are child actors then? Best thing to happen to France since Charles de Gaulle. Can we please pass this in America too? Please. Any earnings they make will be safeguarded in a bank account that they can only access when they turn 16. Are these new bank valves for the kids that can't or don't want to ask their parents to set up an account where the revenue can be stored and shared? Beyond advertising revenue, these children can also expect lucrative partnerships and sponsorship deals with toy and clothing brands. An increase of money flowing in circulation might be beneficial for everyone. Why has no one used kinfluencers yet? The same should go for child actors, right? Nice to see a government keeping somewhat up with technology. Yeah, but look at that Ryan's World kid. He's making a butt ton. What do we say about that? The photo in the headline makes me be sad for some reason. They might need to add a clause where the court can approve and facilitate early withdrawal after an assessment of the parent/guardian's finances and whatever issue was brought up by the kid. Is that a Canon 60D? As they should be. I like this change, but I don't like what YouTube's doing to push this. My kid wanted for a while to make YouTube videos. How would I allow him to do this? Would he have to do it free of ad revenue? Vive la France. Finally. I was waiting that door year. But how are other kids going to learn how to unpackage and play with toys? Deleted. It's only child labor if you pay them. Make them do it for free. Can we get rid of Ryan's Toys Review or whatever the hell he wants to be called now? I've already had to ban Ryan's World from my kids' fires. Watching these kids be exploited for clicks, and spoiled in a way that is absolutely unmatchable, is so gross. Gee. That means their parents will have to go back to getting a real job. As far as I'm concerned, it's child abuse, setting up the child for an artificial view of reality when they grow up. That also reflects a large portion of adults today. How do they class that though? I'm sure there are actually some who are just doing it for fun and aren't being used for money/fame by bad parents, like a lot are, not including any that put themselves in compromising positions, cause that's also bad. Le Père de Studio Bubble Tet la Mère de Swan the voice and sewers. Well, what are Ryan's parents gonna do now? They're coming for Ryan's toys. Which is what it really is, as someone that thinks adulthood should be raised to 21, drinking, smoking, working, mandatory public education continued into college, I see this as a good thing. Got exited, then read it was a French law, happy for France, sad for US. I've heard that here in the US it's not considered child labor if it's your own kids. I wonder if that's true and what the rules are in other countries. This is very nice to see. Surprisingly on the dot by the French government. Ryan's Toy Reviews ruined it for everyone. This should be at least EU law. These children are being starved from a normal childhood cause their parents wanna make bank. I don't see how creating online content is that much different than, for example, being a child actor. I would have assumed that the same laws applied. Thank you. I hope to see the same in the US, where creators use underage family to make money too. I pay close attention to what my kids watch on YouTube, and I always steer them away from channels where it's clear the parent is screaming at their kid between takes. It's not much different than being a child actor, but without the labor laws. Kid influencer shouldn't even be a thing. Jesus Christ, man face palming light skin tone, man shrugging light skin tone. Not sure what's going on, but child labor is okay now? LOL. Can we please stop using the word influencer to describe these people? Thank you, Mignanis. First Ireland says Subway doesn't sell real bread, and now France says han, your silly videos about your child are now considered child labor. Wow. Good. Keep them off of YouTube and in YouTube Kids. This is the only time I support segregation. Like, because of kids, we can't have human cake by Filthy Frank. The sheer amount of ads my nephews see is beyond whatever I was exposed to as a kid. Fuck the government. Kids figured out how to make some money over the internet and they want to control it. LMAO. Nothing makes me want to throw up more than hearing the term kid influencers. How will this impact Greta Thunberg's parents and lobbying groups, who monetize her? Influencers too should be classed as child labor. You see this and think, oh, this is so nice. They are thinking of the children. Until you realize that if this is actually in the context of child safety, every suggestion where a kid does anything involving media would count as child labor, but they would never do that cause they have to keep the press, media, and TV companies ask producers happy. This isn't made with children in mind. It's made with the idea of taking away economic power from internet-based media jobs to keep in favor with certain groups of people.